of the 2023-24 edition
of the Macon Black Pages.
Download the app. The theme is 200 years of
African American businesses
in Middle Georgia.
I've got good news. There's a media source in the community that can keep you well informed of the educational, economic, political, civic, social, and spiritual happenings in the community. And that resource is the Macon Middle Georgia Black Pages. You know, I started this about 32 years ago because I wanted to engage myself in an economic activity that would influence the community. So I started the Black Pages in an effort to advertise and promote and list African American businesses throughout the community with community and corporate support. And what ties to the quality of life is money. So what we try to do is try to uplift the community economically, encouraging consumers to go and do business with these businesses. And what will happen, a rising tide raises the whole ship. It will improve the entire community. Download our app by going to www.maconblackpages.com.
We want to say hello to everybody out there in internet, radio, TV, and computer land. My name is Alex Habersham, and I'm your host today for A Call to Action, which is a program that's designed to highlight important individuals in the community who have made a measurable difference throughout the community. And I tell you, today we have somebody who has for years made a phenomenal difference. Matter of fact, I was at an event the other night, and she was honored as a barrier breaker. And she, of course, is a barrier breaker because of her involvement in an organization that she started. It's none other than Miss June Jordan Oneal, who is in charge of the Mentors Project. How you doing, Miss Oneal?
I'm good.
Yeah, so I just appreciate everything that you've done. So what we want to do is kind of highlight not only the functions and the successes of the Mentors Project, but also you. Talk about yourself a little bit, then we'll delve into all the individuals throughout the years that you've helped through the auspices of the Mentors Project.
Well, I just got a message from Lane Sheridan, who is a former mentor and still a Mentors Project supporter. And she was saying how well that her former protege was doing and that she was bringing her husband to her house on Friday and her 3 children. We've got Ethan Rutland, who owns Easy Detailing along with Zach. We've got Natalie, who's customer service manager at Sam's. We've got a number of teachers that are successes. And then we have got Cameron Agee, who is the band director at Central High School. So we have a number of successes. We have a young man in Atlanta who has a clothing line. So we are very happy when the Mentors Project can step up and help young people realize their dreams.
Well, you know, it's extremely important. And oftentimes, you know, I kind of get on the community because I think we all have a responsibility to give back. You know, we've had people throughout our lives, particularly all our young lives, to influence, advise, promote, and assist us. And I just think that we owe it to the community to do the same thing. So how did it get started? Let's go way back.
The Mentors Project started in 1990 through the Education Committee at the Chamber of Commerce and some concerned individuals like Geico and McNair, Macklemore, and Middlebrooks, and they got together and they went to Washington, D.C., and they modeled a program there and brought it back to Bibb County. I have actually been at the Mentors Project since January of 2000, but the program actually started as a pilot project in 1990 at Southeast High School with the wonderful Vicki Purdue-Scott, and then it has spread to all the middle and high schools in the Bibb County School District.
Okay, so you got potential mentees in both middle and high schools throughout the county for Bibb.
Correct.
For Bibb County. Now let me ask you a question. I bet you, and I know the answer, I bet you got more mentees desirous of being mentored then you got mentors who are mentoring. So let's talk a little bit so we can encourage, other individuals
Right.
to talk about what it takes to be a mentor, etc.
We've got about 100 young people at least on the waiting list who have raised their hand and asked for help. And we only request a 4 hour a month minimum commitment. We don't request, your firstborn child or giving blood or anything like that. We just do a background check and check references. And of course, we do mentor orientation and we provide support throughout the match.
Yeah, so I mean that's not too much to ask. It seems to me 4 hours a month. And so what are the requirements? You can kind of go over them again, and while you're doing that, talk about the process in case somebody wanted to be a mentor.
Well, they can go online to www.mentorsprojectbibb.org and fill out an application and email it to us. They can come down to our office at 484 Mulberry Street, Suite 220, fill out an application. They can call me at 478-765-8623, and I will be glad to put an application in snail mail to them. So we can do whatever you need us to do. And we always need mentors. We especially need men. We have had to start a group mentoring program at the middle schools and hire a facilitator because we did not have enough men stepping up to the plate to mentor these young men. So Najee Chambliss is doing a great job as the middle school mentor.
Yeah, that's outstanding. So, I mean, that group mentoring, of course, is okay. But I've had some experiences, with one-on-one mentoring through the Adopt a Role Model program. And I promise you that, it is very effective. It's very, very meaningful. And I want to give a shout out also to those individuals in the community who are not necessarily a part of the Mentors Project, but see the value of mentoring. You know, I,
Absolutely.
I happen to have been at an event with the I Am King Soiree, which was held a couple of weeks ago with Jaquez Harris, and he's done a phenomenal job with that organization. And one thing that he said to show you how it kind of trickles down and kind of repeats itself is that he publicly thanked Dominic Johnson, for being, an unofficial type mentor for him. So, it's just important for us to realize that those of us who are adults and who are concerned about the community and who want to see the community grow, then we need to really do some mentoring. And I tell you, June, I had a first-hand experience a couple of weeks ago. I was able to get, I needed some interns for the summer. And I talked to Bonnie Angelo from the Bibb County Board of Education, and she sent me a young lady named Jemiah Harris. And the first thing Jemiah told me, well, I got a twin, so she's got a twin brother named Jeremiah. And they are now interning in my office, and every time somebody comes in, like I had Patrick Harris in and just other individuals from the community and introduce them, and they both are college bound, but I can see the advantageous effect that their interaction and associating with people from the community, the advantage of it. So it's extremely important. And I know you just mentioned some names, but I want you to be more specific. If you would, you name four, and I'm sure there are several others about people who have come through the Mentors Project that have been influenced by having that experience and having someone
We
not only
try to plan monthly activities. Okay.
go
We
ahead.
try we try to monthly activities so that if young people aren't matched with a mentor, they are matched at least in group activities with a bunch of caring adults. And through our art camps, through industry tours, through college tours, through our girls seminar called Girls Real Rap and the boys seminar called Street Knowledge, we have had some real heroes and sheroes emerge because they sort of find their passion and what they want to do. We have one young lady who's just finished her master's in social work at Clark Atlanta.
Wow.
We have, like I said, Destiny, who's a clothes designer, has her own business. We have Benares, who's a clothes designer and an optometrist in Atlanta. We have lots of people locally who are doing wonderful things. And we were fortunate when you you mentioned Bonnie Angelo. Jacob Threet was a graduate from Central in May of 2024, and he is going to be in that first dual enrolled class of firefighters. He is getting hired because of his opportunity to go to Hutchins and have dual enrollment. So he's getting hired right out of high school as a Bibb County firefighter, and we're very proud of him.
And I'm sure that there are some mentors, that think it would not be robbery, for them to spend 4 hours a week to try to help a young person along. And, if you would just mention a couple of them, I know there are several, but you need more. And I don't think we need to take it lightly what you said about you needing some male mentors, but just talk about maybe a couple of people in the organization who thought it would not be robbery, to interact with and mentor a young person from our school system.
Well, we've got Mike Harvey, who's the Mentors Project board president and a chemist, and he mentored his young person for years. And in change now, they're still in touch. The young man has a good job, a family, they stay in touch. We've got people who have retired from industry who step up to mentor. We've got people who are young attorneys in town that step up to mentor. We have teachers that are retired, and we have teachers that are just starting out. We have people from all walks of life, and we have children that are in the gifted program. We have children that don't read very well. We have some children that have good self-esteem, and we have some children that are struggling with mental health issues. I especially want to highlight one of our proteges, Nadia Thomas, who through her journey formed her business, Nadia's Truth, and you can go online to check out that business. And last Friday in Athens at the University of Georgia, she won the Mentor Georgia Youth and Excellence Mentoring Award for the entire state because of her willingness to share her journey and her business to help other young people. So we are very proud of Nadia.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet Nadia, and she really has done a phenomenal job. So talk a little bit, if you would, about the group activities, and in doing so, maybe you can advise some individuals who maybe at this point can't readily commit to, the total number of hours, but really want to help in some manner. And I guarantee you, once they start coming to those group activities and interacting with those young people, I promise you that they're going to say, well, I'm going to move it to the next level. I want to be a mentor. So talk something about those group activities and how
Well,
one can get involved in those.
one thing that we're doing this summer, this is the fifth summer in a row that we're doing this, starting in 2020. We are feeding 500 children a week in July when the school district's not doing summer feeding. And that takes a lot of juggling and a lot of planning, preparation, and organization. So if people want to come out to 1233 Bass Road on Thursdays in July and pack lunches for the week at 8 a.m., we would love to have them. And we're distributing July 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. Those are also Monday mornings. We're distributing at 8 a.m. And we don't deliver food every day. We deliver it on Mondays in July for an entire 5 days. And we are happy to have volunteers. And for our group activities, we've got a college tour coming up, as I said, an industry tour, a Middle Georgia art camp. We always need extra hands. So if you can't commit to a child one-on-one, we'd love to have you commit to a group activity. There's the Welcome Center Church out in South Macon, and they mentor 4 young ladies and 4 young gentlemen for us as a group, and that has worked out really well. We have activities throughout the year, every month. We try to teach the children that it's not all about them, it's about everybody. So we do community service work as well. At Christmas, we feed the homeless and pack gift bags. And then during spring break, we usually do a food giveaway.
Yeah, that's so outstanding and those so remarkable. One thing you mentioned that I think might would be beneficial is the fact that you've got an entity, an organization, an agency, a church, that has come on to, bring some young people into their organization. So that seems to be a good possibility, wherein, you got a lot of organization and a lot of agencies and a lot of businesses that would even be willing to do that. So, what would be that process? They would just need to call you and say, hey, I'm the pastor of Macedonia Baptist Church, and I would like to see how we can help some of those young people and get them involved with other churches. So, what would be that process?
If we could have every church in the community step up and say we would take 4 children under our wing that live in the neighborhood of our church or across town from our church, we wouldn't have a waiting list at the Mentors Project, at Adopt a Role Model, or at Big Brothers Big Sisters. We would have people standing in line, raising their hand to help the children. And that is the shout out to the streets that I'm making today. The children need you to step up and show up. 99% of the children in the Mentors Project live in a single parent female head of household. They live with their mother, their aunt, their grandmother. Some of them don't know their dads. Some of them don't know where their dads are. Some of their dads are incarcerated. And it's extremely important for children to feel like they're valued and that they're important and that they're intelligent and that they can succeed.
Well, that is so. I think that cannot be overemphasized. And I'm glad that you mentioned the other mentoring organization. I mean, we have just got to, I always encourage entities and individuals in the community to be a part of the solution. And sometimes it's not as difficult as we might would think. I think a lot of times people think that it's too taxing, if you please, to try to get involved in a community activity or mentoring or what have you. But this is an excellent way. The other thing that we as individuals can do, and I'm going to suggest it to my pastor, is that we can encourage, heads of organizations that we are a part of or that we know of. Say, hey, so why don't we look at taking one, two, three, or four kids, and serving as an umbrella for those kids and bring them in and and just kind of tutor them and mentor them and associate with them and encourage them and be a part of their family. I mean, it would make a phenomenal difference in our community. And everybody, when the better the community does, the better everybody does because that improves the quality of life. And then we're on the threshold, I guess we might be already there, getting national recognition as being a phenomenal and a wonderful city. Well, we all need to play a role to see if we can continue on that vein by being involved in the community. And one excellent way that one can be involved in the community is by associating with you and the Mentors Project, either through encouraging a group of which you are a member or that you know about to kind of engage in the process of mentoring some of these young people, encouraging individuals. You mentioned there are several people who are retired, and oftentimes these retired individuals are looking for something to do, something meaningful to do. So if you know somebody who's retired and tired of sitting home, twiddling their thumb and patting their feet, then say, well, give Miss June Oneal a call with the Mentors Project. She either can engage you in individual mentoring or group mentoring to one of the other two or three organizations that do mentoring. So let's tell them again how to get in touch with you. You might want to give them some words of encouragement, either as individuals or groups, and you might want to give a shout out to some of the people who have been supportive of you and who has assisted you the other day. Oh yeah, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, she did get an award, as I mentioned, as a barrier breaker. She got the barrier breaker award from the James Wimberly Institute. And then I think it's very, very true that she has been acknowledged and very deserving. You all, hey, y'all can imagine how much she puts into this thing. She has it at heart, and everybody knows she has it at heart, and that's why they called her, they named her and awarded her the position, along with several others, as being a barrier breaker in our community. So I want to publicly congratulate you for that, and then I'm gonna give you the last couple of minutes to just kind of, encourage these groups, these entities, acknowledge those individuals, and then tell people how to get in touch with you. Because we want some action, we want some action after, presenting this interview.
I
We
was
want some action.
I was so honored when the 100 Black men gave me the Sam Hart Community Impact Award a few weeks ago. He has always been a role model to me and a servant leader, and I was just honored and humbled and overwhelmed to be recognized by the 100. I want to give a special shout out to my staff, to Tracy Allen, to Najee Chambliss, to Teresa West, to volunteers, Jackie Morrison, who has worked this summer just like a paid employee. She has been a great blessing. And all the people that have stepped up to feed children, whether it's Tommy Campbell and Fat Ministries, whether it's Tim Harrison, whether it's Martha Bowman Church, whether it's Washington Avenue Presbyterian, whether it is St. Andrew's Presbyterian, whether it's Highland Hills Baptist. We have just had a phenomenal number of people say, we want to help children this summer. And I especially want to thank my friends Pat and Andy Galloway. They can work the phone, they can work the computer. Robin Gerard can have people drop off at her house. Donna Kay McGoldrick, they have had people dropping off peanut butter and jelly and snacks, because we don't want any children in the Macon-Bibb community to go hungry this summer. And you can call us at 478-765-8623. My phone is seldom off, and our website is www.mentorsprojectbibb.org. And we need mentors every day of the week.
That's a good plug. I appreciate that plug. And again, I want to thank you for all you do. And again, I want to encourage everybody in the community, all the organizations. I want you to be aware of this, be cognizant of it, and just think of, maybe ways we can help, because it really makes a difference. She has given us examples of how people who have gone through that project are successful. They come back and they give back. And that's very, very important to our community. It's important to the continued growth of our community. So I want to publicly thank you and congratulate you again on receiving the Sam Hart Community Service Award. You're very, very deserving, and they couldn't have chosen a better person to give that award to. So give your phone number, give the phone numbers once again, so people can go ahead and write them down and give you a call, next week, and let's get this thing rolling.
Very good. It's 478-765-8623. If you want to go online to find out about the Mentors Project or fill out an application, it is www.mentorsprojectbibb.org. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, publisher of the Macon-Middle Georgia Black Pages. Incidentally, I want to give the Black Business and Community Expo a shout out. That's going to be very important to the community. And, I'm going to give the Mentors Project a booth at that expo, so they can give more exposure to the community, because that's what we are trying to do. But if you want to learn more about the expo, go to www.cgcbb.org. And and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we try to impart information, much like we did this morning, that's going to make a difference and impact on the community. Again, I want to give another shout out to Miss June Jordan O'Neill for all that she does for the Mentors Project and all the individuals in the community that she has touched. Not only the mentees, but the mentors and the volunteers, because it's a good feeling to know that you've done something to help somebody. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Thanking again Miss June Jordan Oneal, Executive Director of the Mentors Project. Have a great day.
This is June O'Neill and Nadia Thomas coming straight to you from the University of Georgia. We have just been to the Mentor Georgia Summit, and Nadia won the Youth in Excellence Award for her great business, Nadia's Truth, which tells her story. We want to thank Dr. Sims, the Griffith Foundation, Dr. Danley, her sweet mama, Mrs. Jackson, and all the people that have been with her throughout her journey. She's going to be a successful senior at VIP Academy, a successful college student, and then a therapist. We want to salute Nadia. It's all about Nadia today, and as always, it's all about the children.
Thank y'all so much. I want to give a thank you to everybody, but I cannot forget Miss June. I would not be here without her. I love each and every one of y'all. This is not the end of Nadia's Truth. I will be across every billboard. I promise y'all that. We're not stopping here. Thank y'all so much. Say bye, my butterflies.
Bye, butterflies.
www.maconblackpages.com of the 2023-24 edition
of the Macon Black Pages.
Download the app. The theme is 200 years of
African American businesses
in Middle Georgia.
I've got good news. There's a media source in the community that can keep you well informed of the educational, economic, political, civic, social, and spiritual happenings in the community. And that resource is the Macon Middle Georgia Black Pages. You know, I started this about 32 years ago because I wanted to engage myself in an economic activity that would influence the community. So I started the Black Pages in an effort to advertise and promote and list African American businesses throughout the community with community and corporate support. And what ties to the quality of life is money. So what we try to do is try to uplift the community economically, encouraging consumers to go and do business with these businesses. And what will happen, a rising tide raises the whole ship. It will improve the entire community. Download our app by going to www.maconblackpages.com.